I said you're not traditional. You said you're traditional. Are you changing your position that you're not traditional, or?
No.
So you still consider yourself traditional?
Oh, yeah.
Even though that, like, your Instagram is totally immodest and you do porn, and there's probably, I've not done a deep dive on your Twitter, but I would imagine there's graphic videos of you on Twitter, correct?
Yeah.
You've engaged in sex work. These are not really traditional things. So how do you reconcile that?
That's, that's kind of like a thing with your own inner battle, right? So and it's all about, like, you have your persona, you have what you present to the world, and then you have your core. My core beliefs, my core on the inside is different, and that's okay.
So you hold two conflicting sets of ethics?
No.
Your persona.
Oh, well, then I'm so confused.
So I've made peace.
Either your inner core is that prostitution's okay or it's not okay, and I would say that by any retrospect, anybody who would consider themselves traditional and uses traditional ethics would say prostitution was immoral, right?
Okay, and that's your value, but that doesn't mean that I can't have my own set of traditional values and apply them in my own everyday life. I may not be the traditional person or the ideal traditional woman, and that's okay, but that doesn't mean that I can't have my own traditional values in my everyday own personal life.
God.
What are your own traditional values that you have in your own life?
That's like saying a movie actor is like
what
being yes, it is though. You already know what I'm gonna say. It is
comparing a movie actor,
that's like she's like
and having a script and
she's gonna be all the actors and all that. Like, no, all the characters and stuff like that.
That is vastly different than engaging in pornography and saying that your inner being is different than the persona that you put
because
out
it
there.
is, because when you're a stripper, it's an alter ego, like.
But that is still you
pick a different name, and it runs different.
That is still affecting your brain. That is still affecting your relationships.
But you
gotta
know that it's work and how to separate the two, because that's work.
To get this right, the internal you is an ethical, traditional trad woman, but the you which is presented to the world is a prostitute.
I'm not a
prostitute.
prostitute.
See that there's no conflict between the two of these whatsoever, because the internalized your set of internal ethics is that this is bad, but your external ethics are that you're going to do it anyway because you want fucking money. Is that right?
I am not a prostitute. I do not do prostitution.
I didn't say you. I was talking to the gal who was just speaking. Great. I'm sorry.
I'll say this. So it's like you guys want your cake and to eat it too.
Oh, and it's delicious.
On one hand, you want to push your liberal, feminist, progressive equality values as far as humanly possible. Sex work is fine. Men are insecure for not wanting to date a woman who's getting blasted inside of by other men. Hold on. No modesty, no public-facing modesty at all. You want to sleep with a bunch of men and be promiscuous. On the other hand, when it comes to your admittedly sexist and gendered expectations of men, you may as well be 1950s bachelorettes. You want men to be chivalrous, you want them to be providers, you want them to be protectors, leaders, take all the initiative, pay for dates, get you flowers, open the car door, get down on one knee, spend 5 figures on a ring and propose to you. And that's just absurd.
Huh? I don't want to get married, and you know that.
Okay, do you want a guy to be a leader in the relationship?
I don't want a relationship right now. Back to square one of what I've been saying.
You never want to date a guy ever?
I'm not saying ever, but right now, within the next 1 to 2 years, no, I don't.
Okay, so you're temporarily celibate. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. You are temporarily refraining from sex.
Engaging in relationships other than work.
This is a dating podcast, bro. We're talking about dating. Yeah. So how about this? Instead of just like shutting down the conversation by saying, well, nothing applies to me because I'm currently allegedly not dating. Why don't you just project yourself into the future?
Donated $100. God. Shout out to my boy at Thraxx Milky, first time viewing this show. On another note, y'all are far from traditional.
Traditional. Thank you. That's a new one. Zabi wet. It's just like men are waking up, realizing how much of a raw deal this is. And it's just like, you got these non-traditional women that demand, that expect, that feel entitled to traditional treatment from men, and it's fucking bogus.
But I
Just admit-
found it.
just
I have
admit,
found it
like,
with someone in
I
my
wouldn't even
industry.
give you-
I have that, so it is possible.
No.
And I even invited him on this podcast, and you guys said you're not casting men, and you didn't care to have his perspective.
So
Like,
would you stop doing porn to continue dating him
Absolutely.
entirely?
Absolutely.
Why not?
Oh,
do you
Brian,
mean, why
Brian,
not?
is this
I
like
said
Why not right
absolutely
now?
I will.
traditionalist?
Why didn't you guys stop?
What's that?
Is this like Schrodinger's traditionalist now? Is that where we've gone? Schrodinger's
Look,
traditionalist?
I'm not fighting to prove my stance that I am a traditional woman. I have my own set of traditional values. I have found success in a relationship with someone who provides traditional dynamics
Yeah.
in our relationship, and I am happy. They are understanding because they are also in the industry, and I found that. And
He's not
we-
traditional either,
So,
though.
but then why wouldn't? So he's still doing scenes.
No, we both quit.
You both okay? So you've stopped entirely from doing porn.
Yep.
To
We
pursue
both
a
have.
relationship
Yep.
together. See, that's beautiful, and I
Yep.
think that should be how it is. And I'm. That was going to be my next question: is did you stop
Yeah.
to be in a relationship? How long have y'all been together?
It is about 2 months that we've made that commitment to and we committed to monogamy.
Mm-hmm.
We both acknowledge how that would impact our careers. I have stopped accepting porn scenes because I am putting this relationship above that. And that's my personal choice because ultimately at the end of the day, I do have traditional values, and anyone in or in the sex work life can change and find a man of value.
Are you guys doing
sis.
OnlyFans together? Are you doing any scenes with you and your partner?
We are completely monogamous, no
Off
longer
screen.
sharing or doing anything. We've tried, so we had our initial, we were together, we both acknowledged we were in the industry, and then we were like, hey, I don't want you crying other women. And he
Understandable.
was like, okay, sure, I get it. And I said, you know what, I don't want you deep inside of another woman while making out. That's a no for me. And we started putting all these little things and restrictions, and we're like, you know what, no, this isn't going to work. That's still not enough. That still makes me feel a certain kind of way.
Just be monogamous together.
Exactly. And so then we were like, oh, maybe we'll share women together because I'm bisexual. So then we tried that, and then I was like, you know what, no, I just don't want you getting pleasure from another woman. I want to be the only reason you come.
Yeah, these are just preferences. There's nothing about them that are
I'm so
traditional
glad
at
I'm
all.
not dating. Donated $100. Ryan/Andrew. Take a vacation. 90 acres in the mountains. Nice campfire. Plenty of guns to play with and a romp in the skid steer will do your mind good. No infected out here in the woods.
Talking about zombies? Yo, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Look, I wouldn't even have so much of an issue with it if you just claimed, I'm a modern woman. I'm not traditional. I dress immodestly. I do sex work. I have OnlyFans. Just say you're you're a modern.
Was modern on the menu for my choice?
It was not on the choices.
What?
If you're not
non-traditional,
if you're not traditional, what would the opposite of that be?
Okay.
The question I asked is, going around the table, are you traditional? So that could be a yes or it could be a no. But when you claim, yes, I'm a traditional woman, but we can actually point to things in your demeanor, in your behavior. We can look at your public. We should pull up their Instagram.
Well, let's ask it a different way then. Are you a modern woman or a traditional woman?
I would say I'm modern. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Great.
Oh my God, bro, we just wasted fucking 50 minutes trying to explain this shit to them.
I have a question about traditionalism. So